Hello, my name is Brian Ramacco, and today we're going to talk about a posture exercise to help with tightness at the top of the shoulders, help sort of stretch out the back a little bit. Um, you'll find this useful if you spend a lot of time sitting. Now, research would suggest that you need to take a break or move about every 15 minutes with sitting. That's a little unreasonable, particularly if you're on a roll. I find patients find if they take a break and they move their body a bit about every hour, that seems to prevent pain, significant pain and tightness from coming back. So even though research suggests at least every 15 minutes, in practical terms, I recommend moving your body in some way every hour of sitting. Now, on to the exercise. Now, I have other videos touching on these topics, such as a recent video on pelvic tilts, which is useful in combination with what I'm going to talk about today. Particularly, actually, the video on muscle energy techniques that's tricking your muscles how to relax, because these stretches use those techniques. So post-isometric relaxation or reciprocal inhibition can be used to relax muscles. But we're not talking about those videos. You can check out those videos afterwards. On to the exercises. So the first one, which is commonly taught, is Brugger's relief position. So with Brugger's relief position, it's sort of a combination of basically the whole spine. So you want your sort of pelvis tilted forward. You want your head sort of chin tucked a little bit. So you don't want your head out here. You want to sort of pull that in. But you don't want your chin up. So you want down, but back. Now, as for your chest, what you're going to do is you're going to pull your shoulders down, and then you're going to rotate the arms outwards. So this combination from the side, if you were to look at it, so typical person sitting down looks like this. I rotate this forward, I pull the neck back, then I pull the shoulders down and rotate the arm open. Now, one thing to note with this is I tend to do it with a pretty significant effort. Particularly, I focus on the shoulder blades, pulling them inwards and down. And I hold it for about 5 to 6 seconds, and I do it 3 times. That's my recommendation. That's what works for me, not what works for most of my patients, but not all of my patients. If you want to hold it for 20 seconds, do it just once. If you want to do it 10 times in a row, maybe that works for you. Whatever works for you. Some people find a benefit from, instead of just going to normal and then repeat again, they on purpose do a maximum slump and then repeat and then a maximum slump. And they just go back and forth between sort of ideal and curved. One thing to note about the exercise, if you go forward too far, you can sort of hurt your low back. It can be uncomfortable. So you don't want to go so far that you hurt your low back. So in fact, it might be useful to lightly engage your abdominals to sort of pull it back so that there's a light curve back here and not a gigantic curve. So you might want to involve your abs just a tinge there. Now, there are other exercises that achieve the same goal. Some of these you can do seated pull downs. If you notice, you end up pretty much almost in the same position. Wall angels, where you pretend you're up against a wall, or you can go up against a wall. You try to basically hold your head and your lower back as close as possible to the wall, and you just slowly raise and lower your arms while keeping your shoulder blades sort of pulled back and down. I find this incredibly difficult to do. This is actually my personal favorite. I'd say maybe only 10% of my patients like this one. But there's lots of exercises like this. A bow and arrow, right? What position am I in? I'm pulling the shoulder blade back and down, right? One of my favorites, and I like to do this one standing, I'm a little limited to the space here, is I put my hands, I sort of plant my feet, put my hands like this, and I'm standing, and then I open. I open as far as I can, I'm following my hand. Then I give myself a clap and go to the other side as far as I can. I love that one because that gets your neck moving, that rotates basically the full spine. And what position do you end up in? Well, you end up with the arm in this position with the shoulder blade pulled back and down. So any exercise like that, again, getting moving at least every hour of office work, ideally every 15 minutes, but who has time for that? But get moving throughout the day to sort of prevent aches and pains later on in the day and to sort of keep your posture as good as possible, help yourself feeling young and energetic. I'm hoping the best for you. So I hope you found this informative. I hope this helps. Good luck. Cheers.